Hey guys, welcome back. For those of you who are new here, my name is Brittany. I'm a health coach and nutritionist, and my channel is all about helping you to create delicious low FODMAP meals to improve your digestive health. So if you're into it, go ahead and subscribe for more low FODMAP recipe tutorials, as well as my tips and tricks for living a low FODMAP lifestyle. Okay, so today I want to show you guys how I throw together a quick stir fry. Stir fry is the perfect skill to master because you can make it with literally any meat that you have and any vegetable that you have, as long as it's low FODMAP within reason, you know what I mean? So let me take you through how I do that today, all right? So let's get started. So as I mentioned before, the difficult thing with stir fry is gonna be the amount of veggies that you're using, right? So typically for my quick little hack, if I am cooking for 4 people, then I will pick 4 vegetables that have FODMAPs in them, or 4 components of the recipe that have FODMAPs in them. Because when I would be figuring out the math, you would have to like multiply it by 4 and then divide it by 4. So that's just like quick and easy, right? So that means you go into each ingredient and see what the low FODMAP serving of that ingredient would be, and that's the amount that you put in the recipe. So that's just kind of my hack to make it a little easier for you guys. Today I'm gonna be using yellow bell pepper, ginger, and carrots. All of these don't have FODMAPs in them. We're also gonna top it with bean sprouts, green onions, cilantro, okay? None of these things have FODMAPs in them. But what we are using, I have a Chinese eggplant and some bok choy. There's actually no information on the Monash app for Chinese eggplant, but I do feel comfortable just using the information that they have for regular eggplant in there, which is 1 cup of eggplant, I believe. Let me check that out. Yes, 1 cup is low FODMAP, and 2.5 cups gets to the yellow light moderate FODMAP serving. So you can see between 1 cup and 2.5 cups, that's quite a bit of room in there. Which is why I think eggplant is one of those really awesome low FODMAP vegetables that you can really test out and see what your personal tolerance is. Also, since we are only using 2 FODMAP containing ingredients, I'm gonna feel more comfortable using more than just the low FODMAP serving size, because this is gonna be more than 1 cup. Oh, and then for bok choy, let's see what the low FODMAP serving size is. 1 small or 1 cup. So yeah, you can see how I'm only doing 2 FODMAP containing ingredients, but twice as much for each of them. That's what I'm going for. That's like the gist of the thing I'm trying to show you. I don't know how to say that. All right, so let's just prep these ingredients. So I know there aren't a lot of shortcuts on this diet, but buying baby carrots is one of them. You can at least save some time not having to peel them. And I like to cut them like this on a diagonal, which is what's called a bias. And I really like to do that because it provides more surface area, which allows more caramelizing and like browning to be able to take place. And that's actually gonna give you guys more flavor. Next, we're just going to remove the seeds and the stem from this bell pepper and give it a quick slice. So I like to take off this white part of the bell pepper in here, just because it can be a little bitter. It's not gonna hurt you or anything though. For these bok choy, I'm going to split them up in between the more fibrous part that's more like celery, and then the leafy parts, because you want to put them in separately in your dish at different times, because this part is going to take a lot longer to cook. So bok choy is one of those really great low FODMAP swaps that you can do for celery, because you can have so much more of it, and it actually like cooks down very similarly. It's similar color, similar shape. So I really like that, to keep that in mind for other recipes that I'm trying to adapt. And honestly, like I wouldn't even like count this part of the bok choy when I was measuring it. Like if I wanted to keep it to like a certain amount, I would measure this part, because what we see typically is that FODMAPs aren't really in the leafy green parts of the vegetable. It's typically like the more fibrous parts. Okay, so when I'm prepping everything for the stir fry, I'm putting the ingredients together that are gonna go in at the same time. It just kind of helps to keep things organized. So we are gonna start with the carrots and the peppers because those are the things that require the most cooking. These ones we're gonna put together at the same time because I feel like I want these to be a little bit less cooked, and these aren't gonna need to be cooked down quite as much as the carrots because they have more water in them, less fiber. So now for this ginger, since it is an aromatic, I do want to put it in more towards the beginning rather than towards the end, like our herbs. But I don't want it to cook down too much. I don't want to risk burning it because it is a little bit more delicate, so I'm going to put it in with these ones. I'm just going to cut off a piece like the size of my thumb. If you are a person that like hasn't spent much time in the kitchen, but you've decided like, okay, I'm gonna start cooking, I'm gonna improve my gut health, I'm gonna do this, definitely get yourself a good pair of knives because it really helps to have the right tool for the job. You end up spending less time in the kitchen when you have the right tool. So another trick that you can do is if you have a knob of ginger that's about to go bad, or say you just like cut up too much ginger for your recipe, or maybe you want to like prep some things ahead of the time to make things easier on you when you are throwing meals together throughout the week, you can mince up the ginger like this, and then you can throw it into like a silicone mold or an ice cube tray with a little bit of oil and actually like freeze it like that. And then you can just like pop it out and add it to the stir fry instead of having to chop it up. Oh, I have some. So these are pan drippings that I had left over from making the whole chicken. And this is like the same concept. It's just like fat and flavor frozen in a mold, and then I'm gonna pop it out, put it in a Ziploc bag, label it, keep it in the freezer, and just pop it into things as I need it. Ooh, should I use it for the stir fry? Should I show you guys? Okay, yeah, let's do it. I was gonna use duck fat, but we can use this instead. Okay, this is a lot of ginger. I feel like I usually only do like half of this. Okay. Yeah, so this, you could throw it in the fridge, throw it in the freezer, like I was saying. I mean, not only is it like not good to waste food, but say you're cooking up an omelet really quick in the morning and you're like, oh, I have some already like cut up herbs and ginger, I'll just throw it in there. You know, that's how you get to create like all kinds of new crazy things all the time. I feel like I want them to be like this. So it kind of mimics the shape of our bell peppers. I feel like it works best that way. So for my stir fry, I really like to use these thin cut pork chops and just like slice them up or like dice them up. I think I'm gonna slice them today to kind of like keep with the same shape. But yeah, you can use any meat that you like. You can use like beef, you can use chicken thighs, you can use chicken breasts. I mean, you could use ground beef, I mean, why not? That's the beauty of your stir fry. Whatever you have in the fridge. So this is 1 1/3 pounds of meat. All right, now that we've got all of our ingredients prepared, let's go over to the stove and cook it all up. Okay, so I have a large stainless steel pot or pan, and I'm gonna preheat it over medium-high heat. Let that heat up for a couple of minutes, and typically I like to use a combination of duck fat and garlic oil when I make stir fry. It just feels right to me. But like I mentioned today, I'm gonna be using the frozen cubes so I can show you guys how they work. Okay, so I'm just gonna toss in a couple of these. You can see this one has a lot of fond in it, so it's gonna have a lot of flavor. Okay, we're gonna start with our most fibrous vegetables and the things that we wanna cook down most. So that's gonna be our carrots and our little peppers. All right, guys, we're gonna add a little bit of salt, give it a quick stir, and then just let these carrots and peppers cook. Next, we're gonna add another tab of fat, along with the rest of our peppers, the firm part of our bok choy, and the ginger. Next, I'm gonna add some tamari. You could also use gluten-free soy sauce, or you could use coconut aminos, whatever vibes with you and your body and your palate. I'm gonna add about 5 dashes here, which is about 1 teaspoon. So you see when your ingredients start to like become more vibrant, the colors almost come more alive. That's exactly what we're trying to do. We're not trying to cook down these vegetables all the way, but what we are doing is trying to use the heat to pre-digest the fibers a little bit, because that's what's gonna help it be easier for our bodies to digest. Eggplant is another vegetable I love because it acts like a sponge and just soaks up all the flavor, whatever flavor you're cooking with. Now with our eggplant, we're gonna add 2 more tabs of fat, which is about 1 tablespoon each. We're also gonna add a little bit more tamari and rice wine vinegar. The timing of your vegetables and making sure that the harder ones don't get overcooked or undercooked and the softer ones don't get overcooked, like that is the difficult part of stir fry. But you just gotta practice. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that purple skin is coming out. It's just like popping right now. Okay, so now, I don't want these veggies to get overcooked, so I'm gonna take them off and put them in our bowl right here. Oh. Next, I'm gonna add a couple more tablespoons of fat to these eggplant because like I mentioned before, eggplant is amazing because it just soaks up flavor. I don't wanna add a whole thing of this. I just want like a teensy tiny splash. I'm also going to start flavoring our stir fry by adding some tamari, rice wine vinegar, and sesame oil. I will have the full measurements for you guys up on the blog, and I will have that linked below. Okay, our meat is just about cooked. You want to be very quick about this because you don't want to be overcooked. You don't want to overcook your meat, right? Next, we're gonna mix up a cornstarch slurry really quick. It's just 2 parts water to 1 part cornstarch. I'm using 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. And we're just gonna mix that up, throw it in. It's gonna help to thicken our sauce. Ooh, look at that. See how that like thickened up and emulsified? If you want more sauce, what you can also do is add a little bit of bone broth or something that you have in the fridge. Today, I have a little bit of water that I've let congeal with this beef gelatin and a little bit of Fody chicken soup base. So I'm gonna throw this in. Maybe not all of it, we'll just go a little bit and see how it goes. Because I don't wanna thin this sauce out too much. But yeah, look, that looks delicious. That's gonna go so good on rice. Okay, let's give this a little taste. Super good. Okay, let's add back our veggies. Toss in our greens. Give it just a couple minutes to combine and cook down. Oh, I just can't get over the beautiful bright color of these eggplants. All right, guys, this looks so good. Let's go dish it up and take a bite. Okay, I'm gonna start by serving this up over some white rice. Okay, I really like to put a little bit of rice wine vinegar on my rice. I just like a little more tang. I know a lot of people put soy sauce, but I really like the rice wine. Oh my God, it looks so good. Just get this sauce. Look at this. Oh yeah. I like to serve up my stir fry with a little bit of mung bean sprouts sometimes. It gives it a nice little fresh crunch. These are low Fodmap and they just kind of give your stir fry a little bit more like crispness. I'm also going to take a pinch of cilantro. You can also hit it with some green onion. All right, and then for the last but not least, This chili oil is so amazing. And if you look right here on the back, the ingredients, it already has garlic oil in it and ginger oil and red chili oil. Like, so much flavor. I love this stuff. So I do tend to be a little bit sensitive to this chili oil. I have to make sure that I keep it to a teaspoon at a time. Oh my God. Just the smell of this. All right, guys, let's have a taste. It's way too close to my face. So good. Oh my God. That eggplant is so bomb. I don't know. I'm like a weirdo and I like have eggplant cravings. I just love eggplant. But yeah, I love using pork in a stir fry. I don't know. It just has so much more flavor than chicken. We got a lot of like crisp and like fresh notes from the bean sprouts, tang from the vinegar, and then that chili oil just brings it all together. I love this stuff. I really like it. I hope you guys try it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was useful. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.